Hey guys, I know it's late. I want to do a late night live because I haven't been live for you guys in a long time, and I've been telling myself all week that I'm going to go live and I haven't. But I did my nails on TikTok for those of you guys that missed it. And this hand looks really bad. But I did this hand on TikTok because, I don't know, I never go live on there. So give me a second. I'm going to share this live to my page because I always forget to do that. I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. Okay, so my nails look bad. They're in bad shape. Don't judge me. I didn't come here to be judged. I came here to do my nails. And I'm using tips because I missed my curve. So I already sized my tips, but I've had them sized for days, actually, just sitting on my desk. But this is the tip box that I'm using. I got it from the local nail supply. It was like $10 for the box. That's standard price. And I think they're D&D tips because when I was fixing one of these nails today, I was looking at the tip and I believe the very tip of it, let me get my tweezers out. It says, yeah, it says D&D. Y'all can't see that. Y'all see that? Yeah, well, it says D&D on there, on the tip. So, these are D&D tips for those of you guys who are going to be asking me, because I know that curved tips is like everybody has a love-hate relationship with them. It's either you love them or you hate them. I'm going to clean up my cuticles first and do a little bit of prep work, and then I'm just going to dive right into my ombre, because I want to design these nails over and over and over again. So I want to do something simple on them. They were much longer, but like I said, I haven't been taking care of them. So I took them off, and they were long, but they were weak. So it's like, whatever. I'll just cut them down. No point in saving them. This is a comb bit. It's one of my favorites. I like it for blending at the end when I'm done with all my acrylic work, but I also like it for prep work in the beginning. And my cuticles, well, I wouldn't say they're bad because I keep them moisturized, but they're bad because I haven't done them in a long time. Usually I do my cuticle work off camera because sometimes it's just really bad. And I really bring my fingers all the way up to my face. And I use this bit to go underneath my nail. Because once I let my nails grow out, I get all that extra skin and it doesn't need to be there. Oh, hi YouTube. I forgot that I was streaming on YouTube too. Okay, all that. I said I was gonna cut my I said I was gonna clip my nails off and then didn't do it. But that should have been my first step. Clipping these unhealthy nails off. I didn't do a soak off. I did a file down. So there's still a little bit of acrylic on my nails because I forgot my soak off bowl at the shop. So I'm not about to go all the way back to the shop for a soap off bowl. So I just drilled them all the way down. Okay, don't judge me. I was using this drill bit earlier. I was using this E-file bit earlier because I did this hand earlier this week, but I didn't file it, so it was just my hand was just sitting there looking crazy all week, and then only one hand was done. It was just bad, and I was going out in public like that. It's just, it was unacceptable for my profession. So yeah, so I was using this E-file bit earlier, the sanding band. You know, you're not supposed to reuse them, but I'm the same client, so I'm not going to put on a new one just for the sake of the video. But it started off as a medium, but I did so much filing that it's now pretty fine. So I'm going to use it on my natural nails because there's still some acrylic on there. So I'm just going to buff it and kind of blend whatever is not coming off. And my e-file setting is pretty low. That's why you see me doing so much moving, because I don't have it up high and I'm not putting down a lot of pressure, but there is still product on my nails, so I gotta be a little bit more abrasive with it than I normally would on my natural nails. And then I took my last set off because it was, I didn't have a problem with it being a sculpted set. My problem was that I felt like it was too short. And it wasn't short, of course, but it was too short for me and I couldn't take it anymore. I just feel like once you've had your nails super long, it's very hard to just go backwards at any point. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm supposed to be the only one up. I hear doors closing. So I'm not getting all this product off, but I'm getting some of it off. And then the rest of it, like I said, I'm just blending in. I'm not going to fight with it because it's not, obviously it's not lifting, so it's not problematic. And there's nothing wrong with it, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to blend it in and leave it there. Don't do this at home, y'all. Oh my goodness, people are supposed to be asleep. People are dropping things. Sorry, y'all. I know I usually have my elevator music playing in the background. Not tonight. It's late. What y'all doing now? I'm supposed to be asleep anyway. I was trying to catch up on my Zeus shenanigans. But, I gotta do my nails, y'all. My nails look bad. Okay, so I already sized my tips. Okay, again, do not judge me. So I brought all my supplies home. Yay me, good job me. And I thought I brought home some good nail glue, but I didn't check it before I left the shop. So when I got home, I had like 6 things of nail glue and they were all dried up. And so yeah, I don't have no nail glue. But I want to do tips, and I didn't realize until I started like when I started setting everything up that, oh, I don't have any nail glue. So I'm gonna be using I'm gonna be using the glue that I use for my crystals. It's a brush on glue. It's from Amazon. It's not like super amazing. I don't see any difference between this and other glues. Like, I would easily try a different glue any other day, but there's nothing wrong with that one. But yeah, so anyway, my whole point is that I have my tips on this little box thingy I got from Ross. But I have my tips on this, and I am going to MacGyver them so that they stick to my nail, because this is not a fast setting brush on glue. So I'm going to apply a liberal amount, and then I'm using my tweezers because I can't get into my dabbing dish with my nails this long. I'm going to dip the tip of this into my monomer. Just a little bit, like not too much. And this is what my students taught me when I couldn't get the nails on the practice hand. My students were like, dip it in the, dip it in the monomer. And I was like, for real? And it worked, y'all. So it's my little hack that I try to use whenever I'm having issues with tips sticking on. And then I'm going to place them on. I'm going to angle them a little bit so that they curve downward. And just a little bit more glue to seal it. Otherwise they wouldn't stick because this this brush on glue, like I said, it takes a long time to dry. It's not a fast setting. Shoot, I just messed up all my tips. It's not a fast setting glue. So I'm just going to dip it in my monomer, and that kind of helps melt the tip into the glue. And remember, I'm going to angle it downward just so I can get a little bit more curve time in there. And then the color kind of changes because I dipped it in the monomer, so I weaken the plastic. So that's why I'm gonna go in and put a little bit more glue. And if you put too much glue, then go ahead and file it when you're blending your tips. Y'all know me, I don't blend my tips. But if you do, then that step shouldn't be an issue for you because you're gonna do it anyway. But I am trying to apply the glue as flush as possible because I'm probably not going to be blending these tips either. I just challenge you nail techs to do an experiment on yourself. You don't have to do it on a client, of course, but do an experiment. Blend your tips one time, and then next time don't blend them, and then see if you see a difference. And if you see a difference, then by all means, come here and tell me how wrong I was, because I love to hear criticism. Tell me how wrong I was and that I need to start blending my tips. And if you tell me that, I promise you I will blend my tips on every set. But if you come back here and you tell me that you don't see a difference between your tips being blended and not being blended because you put acrylic on them anyway, then yeah. Just admit that I was right. I'm not going to say I told you so. Just admit that I was right, and then we ain't never got to speak about it again. Okay. Love you too. Good night. All right, so dip the tip. And then I really don't have to wait too long, but I like to be 100% sure that it's stuck. And then remember, just a little layer. This nail has acrylic on it still. I should have filed that all the way off. I feel like the mistakes I make and the shortcuts I take, I'm allowed to take them when I'm doing my own nails because they're my nails. So if I have any problems, I can fix them. But I'm always telling my clients, like, don't do any of the stuff I do because it's wrong. Okay. So, I also let my, my primer dry up, but it's okay. I put some alcohol in it, and I'm just gonna work with it the way it is because it's not. I have no issue with it. So, well, I already put alcohol in it. So, round 2. I haven't had any issues with it yet, but if I do, I promise I'll tell y'all, like, yo, that was a fail. I shouldn't have done that. But I feel like alcohol is a dehydrator, so it can't do anything bad, right? I don't know. Don't mess with the chemicals in your products. So I'm just going to liberally apply some primer and make sure that it's not like too wet, but still covers the entire nail. And then I don't need to get it on the glue, which should be dry, by the way, but if it's not, no, yeah, see, it's not. But I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to go fast. Yeah. Check me out. Okay, so I mixed up some colors. You guys know I'll be mixing colors or whatever. Obviously, I didn't make a white, but I have this white. I'm not gonna say I made it, but I tinkered with it because it was white is just not always easy to work with. So I try to make it set a little bit faster. And then I got this nude that I made as a cover powder, and I need to add more clear to it because it's not giving cover powder just yet. And then I got some clear so that I can do encapsulation. Oh, I got some acrylic on me from earlier. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna do what I can. So remember, I use towels. Oh, look, I see some comments. Let me turn down my volume so I guess I'm not all loud. I'm not sure if it'll let me see old comments. But, okay, so I'm dipping the tips in the monomer because my glue is not that good. So I am allowing the monomer to kind of melt the tip into the glue so that I have like an extra layer of adhesion. So I have a number 18 brush on deck. I like to use a big brush because I like to do big beads because I have long nails. And my product is wet, so I'm just gonna play with it. It's not very warm in here. So it is, shoot. It's a little bit setting a little bit slow. Well, not really, but because it's moving the way I need it to move. But when I first placed it down, it was a little bit drippy. Okay, so remember I use towels because I don't use paper towels, because I use terry cloth as a comb. I feel like the fibers in the terry cloth towel comb all of the excess product out of my brush, so it keeps my brush clean while I'm using it. Now remember, you can't wash acrylic out of towels, so once it's there and you wash it, it's going to be there once you take it out the dryer. So just a heads up. I usually use my acrylic towels until I can't no more, until they look too dingy to bring out in front of a client. So that's when I toss them. But I get them on Amazon, a pack of 60 for like, it's about like $35. So it's not expensive. It's like 50 cents per towel. And you get about, I say you can get about 4 to 5 good uses out of a towel. And they're not big. They're called bar mops. So I'm just gonna bring my white all the way down to the tip. I'm gonna, wait 1 second. I'm gonna put my hand in my lamp, because my lamp has a little fan on it, just to kind of dry up that, what's that stuff called? My primer a little bit. So in the meantime, just stare at these nails. It took me like 30 minutes to file them. I was so proud of myself. But then I overfiled one too much, or I didn't put enough acrylic in the cuticle area, so it looked like I needed a fill already, so I had to add more acrylic to this nail. So it was supposed to take me 30 minutes to file it, but then I had to add acrylic and basically do a fill on one nail, and then yeah, after I did all the filing too. So I had to apply more acrylic and then file again. I had to wait for it to dry and I had to file again, and then I polished. Okay. So that was just so the whatchamacallit could dry a little bit. Now I'm going in with my nude. Ew, I got hair on my brush. Going in with my nude. And I'm just going to start powdering it out. And I'm going to use small beads until I reach the cuticle area. My product is wet and it's spreading easily because it's on top of something that is on the wet side, which is my primer. Ooh, my white is still a little wet. So I like to accommodate the curve. I did not clip my tips. Oh, sorry, y'all. I didn't clip my tips or anything like that because I don't know, the way that I shape my tips. I used to do it beforehand. I used to do all my shaping beforehand, but now I do it afterwards because I want to shape before and after anyway. So I just cut out the before and just do all the shaping afterwards. And then I don't clip my nails. I like to leave them long, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna work my way up to the cuticle area. Again, this is an 18 brush. And then I'm gonna fill in any spots, like that spot right here. And I wanna bring my ombre a little bit higher. I'm sorry, y'all, my arm is so uncomfortable. Don't judge me. because I'm trying to look. My camera is in the my camera's in the way, so my head is, this is so uncomfortable, but I'm almost done with my thumb, so I'm not tripping. But let's get this ombre popping. Cause I like to bring my ombre, like my nude, up a little bit higher than my free edge. I don't know why, y'all. I have no idea why. I don't know. Maybe it's just habit, but I just like it up high, like up here. So I'm just adding more acrylic, and I know my brush is wet, but I'm trying not to let this acrylic set because I don't want it to be all bumpy. I want to keep it nice and wet so that it blends easily. Okay, now I'm going to do a nice wet bead of clear just to encapsulate that ombre because I'm going to be filing it. So obviously I don't want to file away my blend. Like I said, my bead is wet because I want it to spread across almost the entire nail, or as much as I can get it. Have some lint right there. So as long as it covers up my blend, I'm fine. And then I'm just gonna bring it as far down to the tip as I can, and then blend that clear out. That way my apex is built and I have a nice curve. I'm going to add a little bit more clear to the cuticle area. Not too much. And blend that out. Okay, I'm done with my thing. I'm done with the thumb. Okay. Finished? Yeah, no. That took forever. Okay, so I'm going to try to adjust my camera because this is uncomfortable. I'm looking at it on Facebook and it just looks different on my camera because it looks so close on my camera, like a good, nice close-up view. But then when I look on Facebook, it's kind of panned out, but that's okay. Whatever, I'm not tripping. I'm probably going to need some more monomer. I'm going to add a little bit more because my monomer is super cloudy. I ain't gonna tell y'all why, because y'all just gonna y'all just gonna judge me because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm breaking a lot of nail tech protocol when it comes to my own nails. So my monomer is cloudy, so don't use cloudy monomer, y'all. If you can help it, use fresh monomer. So normally, like I said earlier, I do that nice clear coat before I start with my color, but I'm just using white and nude, and I don't want it to be too thick. So, cause y'all know I'm already gonna do my nails thick anyway. So the white that I had was just way too everywhere. So I added a bunch of clear to it, so that it can mold a little bit better for me. So as you can see, I'm not really fighting with it that much, just patting it and pulling it into place. And I'm going to do that all the way down to the cuticle. I just want to make sure that I'm patting all the way into my sides so that I get full coverage all the way down. Did I say cuticle? I meant tip, sorry. Nice curve, because, you know, Gotta have my 90s thing going. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more white. Remember, just to fill in any spots, make it a little bit more opaque. It's pretty opaque, but just double checking. Just gonna blend that in. Got a little spot right here on the side that I can get with nude, but I'm gonna get with some white. Just a little patch right there. Let it dry a little bit before I play with it. So I'm going to use small beads again. Small wet beads. Now they're wet, so they're less controllable. So they're small, so they're a little bit more controllable. And then I'm just going to work my way up to the cuticle area. And I like to keep them wet again because they just blend better. So I'm using small beads so I can get as close to the cuticle as possible. Just gonna place the bead down and then use the very tip of my brush to kind of push the product in there. So now that I'm all the way to the cuticle area, I'm going to work on making the blend go a little bit higher. This way I can use larger beads, but they are still fairly wet to accommodate that ombre. And then also my beads are wet because you don't want them to be too dry, because I'm using so many beads that this nail would be super thick if I was using thicker beads or drier beads. So like I said, my nails are already going to be thick because they're long, so no need to add all the extras. Okay, so I'm going to clean up these cuticles. And again, this is a size 18 brush. I like a big brush. Long nails, big brush. Now, excuse me. Large wet bead of clear so that I can encapsulate that blend. And remember, I don't care to go all the way to the tip. Just as long as the ombre blend is protected, even if it's just a thin layer of clear, that will still protect your ombre blend from when you're filing. So I'm just gonna bring that all the way down as far as I can, and then once I run out of product, I'm just going to blend it all the way down. Blend it out. And one last small bead of clear up here in the cuticle area to encapsulate it so that I don't follow in my color. So that's where we are so far. That's where we're trying to be. So I'm starting again with a nice large bead of white. I always start at my apex because I feel like that is the place that needs the most acrylic. So that's the place I'm going to be putting the most acrylic, because if I start all of my layers there, if I blend all of my layers into there, then that's where the highest point of the nail will be, as it should be. So I'm going to pull this white all the way down to the tip. And this is why I use a big brush, so I don't have to use 50 beads of white to get all the way down here. And I know bigger brushes, they definitely aren't intimidating, but I promise you, if you just try it, just try it. Just try it. I promise you'll be good at it. I promise. If you are using a 12 or a 10, try a 14 or try a 16, and then I promise you, you're probably going to throw your smaller brushes away. I'm just saying. Unless you do short or little kid nails all day, then that's different. But if you're doing some long nails and some designs and all that fun stuff, try a bigger brush. Just get your ratio down. Keep practicing your ratio. That's all it's about. That's the hardest part about it, is a consistent ratio, which is very difficult with any nail technician, because different products need different ratios of monomer. So just keep playing with all of your products. But seriously, if you can, get a bigger brush, or if you want to try one out, just try it. I'm telling you. Because I see people always in my comments telling me I make it look easy, and I'm really not making it look easy. It really is easy. Just try it. Just try it, and then you'll be like, oh, that's why it looks easy. I remember I was working in a salon, and I saw a nail tech using this. She was using a size 22. I was like, girl, you just showing off at this point. Like, you're doing a lot. But then one day she gave me a bigger brush, and it was like it wasn't a 22, it was like a 20. Or maybe it was a 22 and hers like a 24. I don't know, but it was a really big brush. And it was still too big for me, but it was really, really cool to use, because I felt like I was getting so much more done in a shorter amount of time. I had never went over a 14 before. And I feel like if you're gonna get a bigger brush, don't try a 16. Just jump into a bigger brush. Jump into an 18, because I don't know, something about them 16s, just, they're never, I don't know, they're not perfect. I'll get a 16 and I'll pinch it until it's the size of an 18. Like, I don't know what it is about a number 16, I just can't get with it. But a number 14, I love, and a number 18, I can always work with. And then, y'all, I always advise y'all to spend more than $50 on a brush. And I know that sounds excessive, right? But it's not. All of my brushes I've had for years. I don't buy a brush. I don't buy a new brush every year. I don't buy a new brush every 2 years. I don't buy a new brush every 3 years. I have had my brushes for years. I don't play. I have one brush that I've had for like, I'm looking at it right now. Am I looking at it right now? No, that's not the brush I was about to buy to y'all. I've had a brush for like, okay, it's 2024, so I've been doing nails for 13 years. So I've had this brush for 12 years, and that baby is still kicking, and it still looks new, and it still works. And at this point, I don't even like touching it, because to me, it's like, it's valuable. It's an antique. I never want to mess it up. But spend a decent amount of money on your brush, because it's one of your most important pieces of equipment. The same thing with your drill, your e-file, and your lamp. Like, you really want to pay good money for your equipment, because you don't want to be replacing it every 6 months to a year. You want your stuff to last for a long time, and you can really get your money's worth. It makes no sense to buy something that costs $100 every year when you can spend $300 and then have it for a lifetime. So I'm just saying, spend a little bit more, invest in yourself. That's the problem. Don't make me start preaching and getting on y'all tonight. Y'all don't like to invest in y'all businesses. That's the problem. y'all want to get on YouTube, and y'all want to do all this other stuff yourself, and I get it. Ain't no wrong with YouTube, but you still have to invest in your business, because there's only so much that free information. It's only so far that free information can take you. Every nail tech that you look up to in the industry has invested in their education at some point, even if it was like a $300 class. At some point, that person invested in continuing and furthering their knowledge, and you have to do the same. You have to invest in your products, you have to invest in your education, and that's the only way you're going to be the best nail tech you can be. But if you want to take all the shortcuts, it's cool, but ironically, the shortcuts get you there much slower. So the real shortcut is a quick investment into your business in whatever way and whatever you see fit. Like, don't let anybody tell you how to invest in your business. You know what your business needs. You may not want to pay for it, but you know what your business needs. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay for it regardless, whether it be with a bad experience or save up for it. Save up for the proper education. Okay, so that's that thin layer of clear that I'm using to encapsulate the nail. All right, y'all, we're getting somewhere. We ombreing it all the way through. So I like to do one nail at a time for video purposes, and video purposes only. Because I can take this video now and I can chop it up into one nail at a time. But if I were doing a client, or if I weren't on video, I would do all my white at once, and then go back to my thumb, and then do all my nude all the way to my pinky, and then go back and do all my my encapsulating with clear all the way to the pinky. I would do it like that. I would just do it in steps, and I would clean up as I go. So like, okay, now I'm done with all of my white, so I can put my white away. Now I'm done with all my nude, I can put my nude away, etc. But for the sake of video purposes, I like to complete the nail in its entirety for you guys. Because also, like, what if you gotta leave? What if you gotta leave, and you gotta leave right before I get to the nude? So you didn't see me do all the white. You didn't see me do the white 5 times. So you know how how I do the white, but now you don't get to see me do the nude because it took me so long to do the white, and now you gotta leave because your kid is crying. See? So I'll be looking out for y'all. But don't forget, I don't delete my lives, so y'all can always come back and rewind them and watch them. And I do have like this setting turned on my Facebook page that while you're watching, you probably can rewind the live, but it's only available for certain phones and certain countries, and I don't know the details. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more white. I was gonna dive into my nude, but I don't like that gap right there. The best brush for a beginner is a size, my nail teachers do not get mad at me, because your nail teacher gonna tell you to start off with an 8 or a 10. I never tell my students that. I never tell my students that. As a matter of fact, in their kits I give them a 14, but in class I let them use a 12. In their class kit I let them use a 12, but then when they leave, no, you're taking a 14. Throw this little baby 12 out when you leave. This little baby 12 is supposed to teach you control and ratios, but don't do no nails with a with a 10 or 8 or 10 or 12 if you don't want to be there all day. Jump straight into a 14. I'm telling you, I know that it's against all the advice you probably have ever gotten, but I'm telling you, as a beginner, as like if you just started nails today, just today, get a 14. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life. If you've already been doing nails, graduate. Like, a number 12 is not a lifetime brush. I hope, well, I'm wrong. I may be wrong, because I can't just generalize it like that. I was going to say, like, anybody who's been doing nails for over 5 years ain't using a size 12. But there's probably people out there who've been doing nails for 20-something years who are using a size 12. So, all nail techs are different, so I can't say what all of us are doing. But I personally have not met any nail technicians who've been doing nails as a career for an extended amount of time, 5 years or more, who are using a size 12. Now, if I'm wrong, and some of my homegirls is on here, and they've been doing nails for 5 to 10 years or more, and they use a size 12, then shut me up, please, because I'm okay with being wrong. But like I said, bigger brush can do more, but a 14 is just so, it's very versatile. You can pick up a tiny bead, you can pick up a large bead, and you can really understand and learn acrylic ratios, your liquid to powder ratio with your 14. It's so perfect. Now, you can use a size 14 for your entire career. You don't have to graduate up from that. I still recommend graduating up from that, but if you don't want to, you ain't got to. You can do every set of nails you can think of, long, short, stubby, mediums, with a size 14. Now, if you're a real good nail tech, you can do any size nails with any size brush. But that's neither here nor there. But if you have not at least experienced or experimented with different sizes, just try it. Don't be intimidated. Have fun. You may find that you do better work with a bigger brush. And I've told y'all, if y'all have been following me for a while, I told you guys that most of my students, a lot of them, do not need my entire class. They just needed a better brush. I'm telling you. There's so many people that have come into my class, and I was like, girl, I am really sorry you spent all this money on all this education, when really the problem was you didn't have the right equipment. So, like I said, invest in your equipment. Any brush that comes in a kit, unless you upgrade the brush in the kit, it's probably not a good brush. It's probably just a student brush to practice with. But if you're really trying to hit the big leagues, you don't have to go to your local nail supply or a very trusted brush company and get you a nice size brush. And it's not going to be cheap, I promise. It ain't going to come in... It's not going to come in a pack of brushes either. It's going to come by itself. It's going to be a lone wolf. It's going to be real big. It's probably going to be the biggest you ever seen. And it's going to change your life. But yeah, as a beginner, try out different brushes. Now, if you're scared, start with a 12 and work your way up. But don't be scared, girl. It's just nails. It's just brushes. And anything you mess up with your brush, you can fix with your file. I'm gonna go in with that nice wet bead of clear. Gonna blend that, and then sometimes it does make it all the way to the tip, and I'll either scoop it off like this, or I will just continue blending that extra product into the nail. I'll just pat it down until it's nice and flat, and then I'll just file it nice and even later. And then a smaller bead to encapsulate the cuticle area and the side walls. All right, here we are so far. All right, y'all. Home stretch, guys. And I had just enough monomer. And I probably got enough to do some 3D art, but I ain't doing it for y'all tonight because absolutely not. See, my number 18 brush even gets to work on the pinky. Hey, Tanya, I love you more. What y'all doing up? It's late. Y'all got work tomorrow. What y'all doing? I know that's right. Tanya said she off on Monday. That's like a stylist holiday. Most of us don't work on Mondays. Honestly, when I wasn't a stylist, I didn't work on Mondays. Don't nobody want to work on a Monday anyway. That's why some of y'all up watching me. Y'all don't want to go to work tomorrow. So y'all about to stay up late with me and then regret it in the morning, and then be telling your coworkers, then be like, oh my God, why are you so tired? And you be like, oh, I was up watching nail videos for whatever reason. I don't even like curved nails. Tell me I'm lying. But anyway, I love you guys, and thanks for checking in. Y'all need to know this. I'm about to say this on every live. I'm about to say, you know why I'm about to say this on every live? Because it baffles me, right? So my mama did like a little 23andMe DNA test like some years ago. Maybe it was like probably like 3-4 years ago now. It's been some years. So she did a little DNA test, and she found her dad. She found her real daddy. And that's cool or whatever. But then she found her siblings, because her father, unfortunately, he passed away. So she found a bunch of siblings, and then she found out like she's the only girl. And I think my grandfather had like 5 sons or 5 kids total, and my mom is the youngest, and she's the girl. She's the only girl. But she like my mom met one of her brothers, or I don't know. I ain't talked to them, but but I have like one of my uncles, y'all. There's a whole meme about him, right? Like I think he got like, I kid you not, I'm not over exaggerating. He got more than 17 kids, right? And then my other uncle, or maybe it's the other uncle, he got 17 kids, and the other one got like 20 something kids. I don't know, y'all, but all of these kids is in Detroit. So like, if anybody's in Detroit, I'm related to you. My dad would tell me, he was like, you got like 40 something blood cousins in Detroit. Why do I have 40 something blood cousins in Detroit? I don't go to no Detroit. I'm scared of Detroit, if I'm completely honest with you. Why I got so much family in Detroit? I have more family in Detroit than I have anywhere else in the world, y'all. That's crazy. Just because my uncles got so many kids. And that's just 2 uncles. I think I got other uncles with other kids. It's crazy. So I feel like I can't go to Chicago because I don't know. Like, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be like, do I know all of y'all? Do I not know anybody? Are y'all family? Are you my family? Are you my neighbor? No, it's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be really awkward. But I do want to go and visit. I also want to visit South Carolina because allegedly I got a lot of family there too. And then my daughter's already been to the Bahamas, and I have family there. And I've never been to the Bahamas. My daughter went, and everybody was saying how all the locals were just super drawn to my daughter. But literally, that's anywhere. But the locals in the Bahamas were really drawn to my daughter, and they were just giving her free stuff, just passing stuff out to her when she went to the little flea market thing. I was like, oh, I wish I would have went. I was like, they smelled your blood. But all I know is Tuscaloosa and Los Angeles. That's where I've been as far as family goes. But I got some family kind of everywhere. I think I got family in Florida and family in Ohio and even New York. And they all over the place. But Detroit got all them other places beat. All right, y'all. There goes my clear bead. It's nice and clear, and it's cool because my brush, I haven't had to switch it out. I normally have to switch my brush out. Like if it's dirty, I just let it soak, and then I switch it out for another brush. And then while it's soaking, hopefully I don't have to use my other brush. But like I said, the terry cloth towel definitely helps when it comes to cleaning out my brush while I'm working. So I don't have to stop and clean it, and I don't have to stop and switch brushes. And you'll know when your brush is dirty because it's not gonna pick up product the way you need it to. It's gonna fight with you whenever you lay it down. Alright, so I am all ombre'd out. I'm done. Y'all watched me. Of course I gotta file it. I wanna do more of a tapered square. Like these are a lot more tapered in than these are, obviously. And I do want to design them. I really wanted to get on here on St. Patrick's Day and then do this pretty ombre and then do some like shamrocks. Are they called shamrocks? Or clovers, some 4-leaf clovers. I'm gonna do some clovers on my nails, just like some cute little accents, like you would do like some cherries or something. Nothing too much, cause you know I'm not that Irish. Grandma's Irish. Shout out to grandma. But but yeah, I don't do nothing for no St. Patrick's Day. Y'all don't either. Don't lie. So yeah. So the next time I get on here, they'll already be filed and done, and then I'll start designing. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. It's late. Go to sleep. Go to bed. You too, Tanya. I know you gotta work tomorrow, But you got to go to bed too. It's late. But I love you guys, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.